Welcome back to an episode of Let's Build Twitter. We're in episode 112. As always, if you guys do want access to this private repository, just check out the description below. And there's a video that walks you through exactly how to do that. Also, if you do want to check out one of the live streams that I do while I'm working on this code live, you can also check out the description for my live stream schedule. Let's hop into what we work on today. In this episode, we continue working on displaying the images in the same grid that Twitter uses by setting up a special utility function to alter the order of the images as well as the styling. And then after styling and making everything look like Twitter, we also work on logic to remove the images before wrapping up the episode. As always, I'm Ethan Uncutter, and let's hop straight into the development. Welcome back everyone to the episode here at Let's Build Twitter. Unfortunately, I had to go through and re-record a whole bunch of stuff because OBS decided that my microphone was not working, and it's working now. So hopefully I get all these episodes out for you guys on time. If you guys remember, last episode we made it so we can have one image appear. Well, I guess we didn't even get the image to work, or I reverted too far. But anyway, we're going to continue working on getting all of this set up and working. Well, it looks like the change that we had didn't get pushed because I had to revert, but let's just go ahead and continue working. And then if I do run into any issues, we'll kind of get rid of them as we go. So back into our code. Hopefully we can get this all working. The first thing we need to do is go into our features, go into our feed, and then we're going to have a utils and feed utils. So in here, we need to set up a function to actually determine how the images are going to be displayed. So we're going to go say export function. We're going to say create image container. Container. And this is going to take in an images, which is a string array. And this will return a jsx.element, like so. And inside here, we're going to say if our images.length is divisible by 2, and we'll do the triple equals just to be safe. If this is the case, we're going to go ahead and say return, and we're going to return we'll do this just to be safe. I'm just going to have a div with a class name equal to feed-post-creator, and then dash images-container, and then container-even. And then inside here, we're going to have images.map. And we're going to map an image. And then from here, we're going to return a feed post creator. Image will equal to image, and the key will equal to image. All right, and let's go ahead and import our feed post creator image. So if we have an even amount, we're going to go ahead and return that. Then we're going to say if our images.length is equal to 3. So this one is kind of a weird special case. And let me spell length right. So length is equal to 3. And this is going to say let reversed equal to, and this is going to be a string array equal to, and we're going to say json.parse. In json.stringify, we're going to make a hard copy of our images. That way we can reverse it. And we're going to say reverse.reverse. We're going to let JavaScript reverse our array. And this is because of the styling and whatnot. This is the easiest way I found to do this. Then we'll go ahead and do the same thing. We'll return a div, the class name equal to, and this is going to be feed-post-creator, -images -container. This is going to be container -odd because there's an odd amount of images. Then we're going to say reversed.map. We're going to map through the images. And we're going to return, once again, a feed post creator image with image equal to image and key equal to image. And then finally, we're going to have a default return, so return, and this will just return a div, the class name equal to feed-post-creator -images-container, and this one is also going to be container-odd because again it has an odd amount. This will be a feed post creator image, and then our image will equal to images 0 because there's only one image and we do not need a key. and save, and now the error should go away. So this is going to allow us to kind of calculate the styling and everything on our image container. So now what we need to go ahead and do is we need to go back into our feed post created images component. So let's go into components, feed post created images.tsx. And now instead of, just having one of these, we're going to go ahead and say create an image container from here. And we're going to pass in the post date dot post images, current post images. So now we should, hopefully, fingers crossed, be able to view this. Again, there's still a little bit of styling and stuff we need to do. Let's hop back into our application. So now this is broken. Let me refresh. We have no way of getting rid of the images or anything. We're going to go ahead and click on this. Let's go ahead and try to add a couple of images. We can see they pop up. Right now, we don't have any way to continue a pin. So if we want to add 4, let me move this over. Or actually, let's first try 3. So we'll grab this one, and this one. As you can see, it's not quite working because there is something we need to change in the CSS that we will change in a second. But let's first do, let's go ahead and fix the CSS. So there's one small thing in the CSS we need to change here. So back in here, and then this is going to be, I believe, in the post created images.css. So instead of height 100%, we need height 345 pixels. And that is the biggest difference other than the height here. This says 245. The other one says fit content, but I believe that's fine. So let's go ahead and try once again. And now, as you can see, it's kind of working. Again, there's a little bit of funkiness going on. I believe maybe we need to set this to fit content. So fit-content, that's the only difference. Let's see here. That looks a little bit better. Cool. So now this is working. Of course, we don't have the buttons and nothing to close out of it. So now let's go ahead and make the buttons to go ahead and close as well as edit. So back into our code, we're going to close out of this and we need to open up our feed post creator image itself. And now we need to do a little bit of work in here. So let's go ahead and make a new div with the class name. And this will be equal to feed-post-creator image clear, and this will have an on click on it. That is going to do nothing for the time being. We'll come back and set this up at a later date, and we want this open, and I put an extra S. Let's fix that. And then inside here we're going to have a close icon for material UI. SX is equal to, and we're going to add some styling. So font size will equal to 18 px. So again, this isn't a perfect science. This is just kind of me playing around and what I found was the best. We'll also have a color, and this will be white. And then let's go ahead and close out of that. So that one's good to go. And then under here, we'll also have another div, the class name equal to, and this is going to be feed-post-creator. Creator. If I could type -image-edit. Again, we'll set this up to work in a little bit. This will also need an on click on it. So on click will equal to, and this will just be equal to nothing. And we'll circle back and make this work later on. This will say edit. Cool. So now if we come back into our code, you can see we have like the white X and then you can barely see edit. So let's go ahead and style those up so we can see them a little bit better. So back into our code, we'll hop into the CSS. So what we want to go ahead and do is say dot. And let me double check that there's no differences here. So we have RGBA 000, border radius, flex, hover, no repeat, center. And then we also want position to be relative for this. Cool. Now dot feed-post-creator. And then this will be -image-clear. So this is kind of like the background. Position will be absolute. Display will be flex. And our justify content will be center. Our line items will be center. Our width will be 30 px. Our height will be 30 px. And then our border radius will be 100% because it's going to be a circle. Our background color will be RGBA of 0.6. Just kind of what I found looked good. And top 8 pixels, will be 8 pixels from the image top, and right 8 pixels. Thanks. Then we need a hover, so let's go ahead and copy this, paste, and hover. This will be a cursor, a pointer. We're also going to have a background color. It's going to get slightly lighter, RGBA 000.5. So it's going to be slightly different. So there is our clear. So let's go ahead and do the edit. Feed dash post dash creator dash image dash edit. And this is going to have also a position of absolute. And then we're going to have a display of flex. We're going to have a justify content in the center, align items in the center, a height of 30 px, a width of 60 px, a border radius of 15 px, a background color of RGBA 0.6, and then we're going to have bottom 8 px. We're going to have right 8 px. Color will be white, and then finally we'll have a font size of this for 14 px. Again, this also needs a hover, so let's go ahead and copy this and say this :hover, and I copied the dot, so fix that :hover, and the hover is basically going to be the same. Let's copy this and paste this, and now we should be able to, if we come in here, see we have our edit, we have our X. They don't do anything. Edit will come later, we'll get that working later. But let's go ahead and get the removal working, and then that will kind of wrap up getting all of our image displayed. And then in the next episode, we'll kind of set it up so we can get the edit and all of that stuff popping up the way it's supposed to, as well as appending data and whatnot. So finally, back inside of our feed post creator image, we're going to go ahead and create a new function called remove image. We also need to go ahead and bring in the state and everything. So const state is equal to use selector. We'll have to bring this in, that's fine. State is of type root state, and then this will return like a type state.post. Let's go ahead and do some importing. So we'll import useSelector, we'll import root state. That should be fine. We don't need the return. That. And we'll also say const dispatch of type app dispatch is equal to use dispatch. Right, and then we can say const remove image is equal to an array, and we're going to say let image array copy equal to a string array. This one we probably don't need to make a hard copy, but it is what it is. JSON.stringify, JSON.parse, and then we're going to go ahead. If I did it backwards, this would be JSON.parse. Whoops. JSON.parse, and then JSON.stringify. And this will be state.currentPostImages. So we're going to make a copy of those strings. As the image array copy is equal to image array copy dot filter. And we're going to take in the image. And we're going to spit out image not equal to image. So we only want to return the images that are not equal to the current image that we have passed in. And then we will dispatch in update current post images with this image array copy. So we're going to basically return all the images but the one that we clicked on. So now if we go ahead and copy this remove image and paste it into the on click and save, we should be able to hop back into our application. So now if we click on these, you can see that they go away. We can go ahead and add some more. So let's go ahead and add 4 of them, I suppose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we can go ahead and remove them as we see fit, and everything's working. So that's kind of where I want to leave this. I know it's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but this is kind of the primary goal. I'm trying to get like one thing done per episode, more or less, unless I absolutely have time to do more, but I don't have more time to do more. So hopefully you enjoyed. Next episode, we'll go through and make it so whenever we click the edit, we can pop that up and do a couple of other things. Unfortunately, that's going to be it for today. If you guys enjoyed, please stick around for the next episode by hitting that subscribe button. You'll know exactly when it comes out, especially at that bell icon. If you did enjoy the content today, please sure to leave a thumbs up. If you did enjoy it, leave a thumbs down. Either way, it helps out with the algorithm all the same. And finally, if you have any suggestions or feedback for me, make sure you leave a comment down below. With that being said, I appreciate you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace out, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.